Imagine this. It's the middle of an August afternoon. You're outside enjoying the absolute height of summer when suddenly the world around you just begins to shift.
Right. The temperature drops just enough to give you a slight chill, and the birds, usually chattering away, just go completely silent.
Exactly. The light doesn't just dim, it takes on this eerie, silvery quality. The shadows around you become unusually sharp, almost unnatural.
It feels like dusk has just decided to drop in hours ahead of schedule. But what you're experiencing isn't a strange weather front rolling in. It's actually the massive shadow of the moon.
Welcome to This Explainer. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sarah.
Today, we are completely geeking out over an absolutely thrilling astronomical event coming our way, the solar eclipse of August 12, 2026.
Yeah, this isn't just any ordinary eclipse. For viewers in the UK, Ireland, and across much of Europe, this is going to be the most spectacular, deep solar eclipse we've seen since the famous one back in August 1999. It is a breathtaking, rare moment where the vast invisible mechanics of our solar system literally line up right above our heads in broad daylight. Oh, and if you love exploring the universe as much as we do, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, The Cosmic Curiosity.
Okay, let's jump straight into Section 1, Day Turns to Dusk. Let's dive right into the sheer scale of what is going to happen. You know, eclipses are those incredibly rare moments when astronomy stops being something you just see in a textbook and becomes a visceral, physical experience. You literally feel it standing in your own backyard.
For sure. And for the UK, the magic number is up to 96%. Now, while it won't be a total blackout, 96% coverage is an incredibly deep partial eclipse. For a few hours, the moon will take a giant cosmic bite out of the sun.
The daylight will fade into this bizarre metallic twilight. And here is a super cool trick. If you look at the shadows cast by the leaves of a tree on the ground, you won't see normal dappled sunlight.
No way, you'll see hundreds of tiny glowing crescent shapes projected right onto the pavement. It is a completely unique sensory experience that fundamentally alters how the world around you looks and feels.
Which brings us nicely to Section 2, Mechanics of an Eclipse. Before we talk about exactly when and where you need to be, let's quickly look at the basic astronomy of what is actually going on up there. The absolutely crucial point is understanding the difference between a total and a partial eclipse.
Right. So a total eclipse happens when the moon perfectly and completely blocks the sun's entire disk. It plunges the Earth into temporary daytime darkness and reveals the sun's ghostly outer atmosphere, known as the corona, a breathtaking, shimmering halo of plasma stretching out into space.
But a partial eclipse, which is what the British Isles will experience this time, happens when the moon and sun aren't perfectly aligned from your specific vantage point on Earth, so the moon only covers a portion of the sun. The process itself is just mesmerizing to track. Imagine a giant cosmic dimmer switch. The moon travels steadily across the solar disk from right to left.
From the first contact, where it just looks like a tiny nibble has been taken out of the edge of the sun, all the way to maximum coverage, it's a slow, dramatic progression.
Yeah, this isn't a flash in the pan. It's a multi-hour cosmic ballet that really demands patience, taking a couple of hours to fully unfold as these massive celestial bodies dance in slow motion. Moving on to Section 3, the UK's main event. Let's see how this builds for viewers specifically in the United Kingdom and Ireland, because the timing and geography make this event particularly dramatic. The moon's shadow will sweep across the islands on that Wednesday evening.
And get this, the shadow is actually racing across the surface of the Earth at thousands of miles per hour. That staggering speed is why the peak maximum coverage hits Edinburgh at 19:05 British summertime, reaches Belfast just 3 minutes later at 19:08, and arrives down in Cardiff around 1913.
And the further southwest you are, down in places like Cornwall or Pembrokeshire, the deeper the shadow gets, maxing out at an astonishing 95 or 96% coverage. But here is the absolute kicker for the UK. This is a late-in-the-day event. Maximum eclipse happens right as the sun is getting ready to set.
Observers will see a stunning, frown-shaped crescent with the horns pointing downward, suspended incredibly low in the western sky.
Because it's hanging so low, you will absolutely need an unobstructed view of the west-northwest horizon to see it. Even a small line of distant trees, a neighboring building, or a low hill could easily block your view of the sun at this angle.
So advanced scouting of a location is highly recommended. If you have a favorite wide-open spot for watching spectacular sunsets, that is exactly where you want to plant yourself on the evening of August 12th.
All right, let's look at Section 4, chasing total darkness. A 96% partial eclipse is phenomenal, but for dedicated eclipse chasers, there's a well-known saying: the difference between a partial eclipse and the total eclipse is like the difference between almost dying and actually dying.
Wow, okay, a bit intense, but it is a completely different life-altering experience. To get that 100% total daytime darkness, you have to travel directly into the path of totality. And the UK just barely misses it. While Britain gets the spectacular deep partial view, a narrow path of complete totality will carve its way across the Arctic, sweep down through Iceland, and glide across Spain.
If you are willing to travel, there are some absolute golden tickets along that path. Western Iceland, specifically dramatic spots like the towering sea cliffs of Lotraberg in the West Fjords, will see the longest totality on land. Picture standing on those icy, rugged cliffs as the landscape plunges into sudden darkness for over 2 minutes, surrounded by the wild North Atlantic. It's going to be epic. Or, on the entirely opposite end of the spectrum, if you prefer a warmer climate, northern Spain and the Balearic Islands offer an incredibly photogenic event. There, totality will happen just degrees above the horizon, right at sunset, painting the warm beaches and ocean waters in twilight hues. It is going to be an absolute dream scenario for photographers and skywatchers alike. Now for the most important part, Section 5, How to Watch Safely. Whether you are chasing totality on a warm beach in Spain or enjoying the brilliant crescent from your garden in Cardiff, we have to get extremely serious about safety. You have several safe, accessible options for viewing. The absolute easiest is using a pair of ISO 12312-2 certified eclipse glasses from a reputable vendor.
And if you are using a telescope or binoculars, they must have special securely attached solar filters covering the front lenses. But if you don't have any gear at all, simply use projection.
Yes, put your back to the sun, cross the outstretched, slightly open fingers of one hand over the other to create a waffle pattern. The tiny spaces between your fingers will magically project little crescent suns right onto the ground.
It's such a cool trick. And if you happen to be clouded out by the weather, which, let's be honest, is always a risk, don't worry. Institutions like the Royal Observatory Greenwich usually run fantastic live streams so you can still experience the magic digitally.
Now listen carefully, because this next point is absolutely critical. Do not look directly at the uneclipsed or partially eclipsed sun. Ever.
Never! Regular sunglasses, no matter how incredibly dark they are, offer zero protection against the severe thermal and photochemical damage the sun will do to your retinas.
Furthermore, looking through an unfiltered camera lens or binoculars while wearing eclipse glasses is incredibly dangerous. The intense optics will act just like a magnifying glass, burn straight through the protective filter in a fraction of a second, and cause permanent blindness. When it comes to the sun, safety must come first always. Bringing it all together in Section 6, a cosmic connection. When viewed safely, an eclipse deeply connects us to the grand, ticking clockwork of the cosmos. Let's look at how this fits into the grander timeline. The last time the UK saw a shadow this deep was way back in 1999.
And now we arrive at August 12, 2026, and here is a fantastic bonus fact for you. Eclipses often come in pairs. Just 2 weeks later, on August 28, there will be a partial lunar eclipse, creating a striking blood moon.
Oh, that's going to be beautiful. But you truly do not want to miss this main solar event. Because if you decide to hold out for the next total solar eclipse visible from the UK mainland, well, you'll be waiting until September 23, 2090.
Stop and think about that. 2090. For the vast majority of us, that makes this 2026 eclipse a genuine, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
These moments are so incredibly rare, so undeniably beautiful, and they serve to deeply remind us of the magnificent clockwork of our solar system.
When that colossal shadow races across the Atlantic and brushes over the British Isles, instantly turning a warm summer evening into a silvery twilight, you simply won't want to be stuck inside.
So get your certified glasses ready, find a spot with a beautifully clear view of the western horizon, and ask yourself, where will you be standing when the shadow falls?
Thanks for joining us for this explainer on the cosmic curiosity. Now go out there and look up safely.